Welcome in, everybody. Scout's Eye on college football. We've got a little Pac-12 football and beyond here as we take a look around the league. USC with a impressive on how they won the game over in Corvallis over Oregon State. We're going to take a look at that. Hey, Bo Nix, remember him? I think Auburn would like to have him with their quarterback situation. Playing pretty well now for Oregon. Big win over Oregon State. The Cougs were up midway through the fourth quarter, but saw Oregon score 3 touchdowns in just under 3 minutes to swing that game. We're going to get into that. A true freshman, Jaden Ott, led the way for Cal to beat Arizona. Jacques Charbonnet, and everybody's running over Colorado. We got a lot to get to. Go over the team rankings. How do things look? It's a competitive-looking league at the top, but boy, there's a couple of stinkers at the bottom. And we were talking about this on other conference shows that we have, that some leagues have that really bad teams. A team like the conference like the Pac-12 doesn't have any bad teams, doesn't have any really elite teams. But we're going to take a look top to bottom at the Pac-12 and all the matchups. So as I mentioned, and we want to remind you that if you want detailed film room analysis of all of the teams in the Pac-12, all of the teams in every conference in college football, including Group of Five, small college, we got it for you at LandryFootball.com. NFL, you interested in that? Game previews, players, teams, coaches, schemes on the college and NFL level, we got it covered for you at LandryFootball.com. Take advantage of the football season sale today. The best offer that we have going. You can try it out for a month, 6 months, whatever is your pleasure. We also remind you to sign up, subscribe, like, and share the Landry Football Podcast Network. That'll get you all of the football shows that we have throughout the network. Hey, if you're a Pac-12 football fan, not enough people talk about the Pac-12. We do here, Pac-12 football and beyond. All you got to do is sign up for Pac-12 football and beyond. Subscribe, like, and share as well. If you're a fan of another conference, SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big 12, ACC, Big 12, football and beyond. It's all called football and beyond. Put the conference in front of it. Subscribe, like, and share. Also, sign up for the Off the Hook Sports YouTube channel. So it was nearly a disastrous week for the league, if you think about it. The marquee game was USC Oregon State. Look, on the downside, we found a team that could slow down this USC offense. I'm not worried about USC's offense and their explosiveness. They've got talent. They can score. But the way they were able to tough it out, and I do think they can rush the passer well. I worry about USC's ability to defend the run. Oregon State did not play clean on offense. They made mistakes that were a little uncharacteristic, or else they could have easily won that game. But I like the way USC was able to get it done, the style of which they were able to get it done. Winning with defense, that's what they're able to do. We'll see how this plays out going forward. Up north, the Oregon Ducks, what a game in the Palouse. Scored 21 points, as I mentioned, in the final 4 minutes to get that victory. What a game. I mean, what an absolute game. It was incredible. The mistakes, the back and forth and how it looked like this game was over. I mean, 21 points in 4 minutes. What a turnaround for Oregon. It was a very weird game, very intriguing game. Washington and Utah took care of business, while California and Arizona got in a shootout in the desert. So after 4 weeks of action, let's take a look at how they stack up within the league. Start from the bottom. Get this out of the way first. I don't know what you say about Colorado. Yeah, they are young. Man, they are bad. And, when the athletic director sends out a letter to the fan base and, Colorado and Colorado State are god-awful bad. Colorado is so bad. Now, I realize they played a difficult schedule, but they're the only team in the Power Five that's not won a game yet. So they haven't had a rental win. I'm not sure that a rental win would have done any good because they would have maybe lost to a rental win to make things even worse. At least they can say they're getting blown out by some pretty good teams. Arizona State, new coach, same trouble. We got a detailed podcast that we did on the rise and fall of Arizona State football. Over, you can catch it on the Landry Football Podcast Network, all these platforms, Off the Hook Sports YouTube channel, the Pac-12 football and beyond. We tell you about kind of what made Arizona State good going back to the 50s and 60s and how the program grew. But then we'll also tell you, using my background in the coaching search world, of why this Herm Edwards move was a bad move from the beginning. And we told you back then and why and what's happened. Probably some behind-the-scenes information you've not heard of before. So check that out over at LandryFootball.com. You got the full details. I did do a podcast on it, so check that as well. It's a mess there. They struggle to do much against a Utah team that's starting to play better. Utah, as I expected, as they always do, seem to get better as the year goes along. Well-coached teams do. Utah will. Arizona, toss-up between Arizona and Stanford, kind of where we want to go next. I don't know. The Cardinal played a good Washington team. Arizona's not good. They're not well-coached. They lost by double digits to a mediocre Cal team. The Arizona program's in bad shape. I mean, really, Arizona is really bad. If it wasn't for the fact that you had an even worse Colorado program and an Arizona State program that's in all sorts of trouble, Arizona would be typically a really your bottom feeder program. It has been. It still is. For Stanford, things are not looking good there. They hung with Washington for a little bit, but they don't have the talent. They don't have the ability to control the line of scrimmage and run the football and play ball control football like they did when they were good. They don't do anything particularly well. They don't have playmakers. They can't throw it very effectively. They don't have the quarterbacks they've had in some of those years where they could make plays off play action. They don't have that. They don't have difference makers on defense. They're just not very good. Cal has been, pretty decent thus far this year. The 3-1, they show some ability to adapt on offense that we haven't seen in a few years. Jay Knott, folks, is one of the better freshmen in the country. Got 3 touchdowns from him. And look, they're not bad. They're certainly better than the aforementioned Stanford and certainly better than Arizona Lights. How good is UCLA? The film says they're not good at all. Wins over Bowling Green, Alabama State, South Alabama, and Colorado. They have played as soft a schedule as you can or will see. What's it going to look like Friday night against Washington? I don't have a lot of expectations here for the Bruins. They don't look good. I don't think they can match up against Washington, but we shall see. Does Chip have something up his sleeve? Washington State, another good team. They were a couple of plays away from beating Oregon up on the Palouse. They've done a really good job. Cam Ward is a really good quarterback. The defense is no joke. This is a well-coached team, and I'm impressed with what they're doing there. Oregon State, I thought they played USC very well. I mean, how can you not be impressed defensively with what they were able to do against USC? They held an offense that's been scoring 50 points a game to 17. That's good, okay? That's really good. And I think Jonathan Smith continues to do a really good job. Who are the best teams? Well, I tell you what, the top's pretty good. You got 4 good teams in this league. I mean, I think Oregon State and Washington are good teams, but I think you got 4 teams that are really good. You can go in a number of different directions. Utah's good. They're well coached. They're going to get better. Yeah, they lost to Florida. I still think that they probably are, as the season develops, you're going to see they're going to be, I think they're better than Florida. They didn't win the game. They had opportunities. They didn't. Be that as it may, they were really good. Oregon, I think, is good despite the fact that they were blown out by Georgia. I think you can see their ability to grow as a team and play with confidence, come with 21 points. I think Coach Lanning and his staff is going to do a really good job there, and they're growing. USC's really, really good. They're outstanding offense. I don't think they're like playoff good or do damage in the playoffs good with their defense, particularly defending the run, but they can score on anybody. Love this Washington offense. I think they can throw it very well. And we'll see. We'll see how they develop. I'm curious to see what they do against UCLA. I expect them to play well this week. I expect them to beat UCLA, and I expect they can beat them going away. But let's watch this Washington team, and let's see how they can develop in the West. But I see Washington, Oregon in the North being really good. I see USC and Oregon, USC and Utah in the South being pretty good. I see 4 really good teams. I don't think any of them are what I would call playoff teams. But again, when you're talking about no true 4th team in the country that's capable of making the playoffs, then what are we really seeing? Any of these teams are candidates, I think, to get, out of the Pac-12. I don't know if they make the playoffs because I do think it's a competitive league. I do think that you can beat each other up playing 9 games. And I just think it's going to be very difficult for anybody in this league to go without having 2 losses in it. It's possible if you get out of it as a 1-loss Pac-12 champion. I think you're in pretty good shape. I think you're very competitive with the Big 12 in that regard. I think you're going to have to beat out of Clemson, and I think that certainly Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama are likely going to be in. So we shall see how it relates to the national perspective, but really like this league and the way they're playing, and again, some really bad teams. So there's some gimme wins here, but then there's some teams that are really competitive. Going to be fun down the stretch, and I think the South and the North, we don't know yet where this is going to go. I would not hand it over to anyone yet because I think it's, as I mentioned, 4 teams that are really good. I tell you what's really good is talking football with you every week, talking college football, NFL football. We break down the leagues by conference, and we even do a Group of 5 podcast. We got it all for you. If you like Pac-12 football, sign up for Pac-12 football and beyond. And if you like Big 12 football, sign up for Big 12 football and beyond. If you like an SEC football, sign up for SEC football and beyond. Same thing with the ACC. The Big Ten. Subscribe, like, and share if you would. Sign up for the Landry Football Podcast Network. You'll get all the shows, college and the NFL. Again, subscribe, like, and share for that. And also the Off the Hook Sports YouTube channel will get you all of the college football content, and you can watch us do the shows. You can get detailed film room analysis over at LandryFootball.com, where we will break down the games inside the film room, tell you what we see there, tell you how we see it, what it looks like going into the games, what it looks like after the games. We got it all for you at LandryFootball.com. So make sure that you check it out today. Try it out for a month, 6 months. Take advantage of the 6-month deal. We've got it for you there is the best deal we got going. Less than a magazine subscription can get you access to a coaching and scouting department for less than a magazine subscription. So check it out there. We appreciate you joining us. Join us again next time. We'll break down all the games. We'll preview them later in the week. So make sure you stick it right here on the Landry Football Podcast Network, as well as the Off the Hook Sports YouTube channel.